Ay, I don't give a love a fuck about what them bitches gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love a fuck about what them niggas gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's a Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad of this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, go through the baddest conditions. I don't fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like that, man. Niggas, she know I'm a prophet, she glad to be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit. Tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitchin' the different breed of black men. We don't do the back thing. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it great. Like don't forget about my face. We standing up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go get you some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we soldier. You can take that to the bank, we focus on how many times must we remind you? One body, one way, some break off and never take off as a flex. When the law with you ain't no up next. It's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh Lord. And everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit. We want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die. So that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. They tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine, that's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better have the women, have the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't but the system. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in here with me. We in the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Fucking Hispanic, Native American, Indian, we ain't just talking shit. But we living in it, we be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be fresh as hell, take a picture. And we special now with the scriptures. Play, we gon' script them, yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. Swear business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't think they pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on. The slide that I know about is when I assemble the Glock with the slide on. Real, I get the order, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like, bitch, or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like. My nigga like. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. I'm on the command and general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine, that's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. You understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit.
All right. Clap it up. All right, it's the Israelite School and Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, using external references to back up and support internally what is inside of the Bible. We have been going on a deep dive, breaking down the difference between Satan, the devil, and Lucifer. We are on part 8 of this series, where we will now be getting into what and who the devil is. Before we get into that, if you are on Facebook, make sure that you share the class, follow I.S.U.P.K. Houston, I.S.U.P.K. Beaumont and Port Arthur, I.S.U.P.K, Galveston. If you're on any of these YouTube pages, go ahead, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I see we got some people on here from Instagram on the Beaumont and Port Arthur page. That's what's up. Give them a hand. You know what I'm saying? That's a first. Um, so for those, this is your first time tuning in to a history breakdown class. Um, we try and differentiate the facts from the fiction, the mysticism uh, from the lies, right? We try and break it down and make it as practical as possible, right? So for the past 7 classes, you can go back and watch. We've been breaking down not only who, but what Satan is, right? Make sure we got audio online. Yeah, we good. All right, cool. So now we're gonna get into what the devil is and what he isn't, and why the idea of what you think the devil is, why that picture and that vision is in your mind, where it comes from, what it actually is, the role it plays in your life, and how devils pop up in your life. But before we get into that, just a review to alleviate this from the spectrum, just a quick review: who and what is Satan? That's a question. Who and what is Satan, based off of what we went over the last 7 classes, to the best of your knowledge? Who and what is Satan? Go ahead, Sapar.
So, like, if I may, sir, Satan is a angel on the left hand side of the Most High God.
He is an angel. Okay, but what does that make him though? Like you say, he's an angel
It
on the
makes
left
him.
hand. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, like, it makes him a adversary to man to see if they deserve the crown of life that the Most High is willing to give to man. So it's kind of like a obstacle. He's an obstacle or a barrier that you have to go through to see that you are worthy.
Okay, so you definitely gave me the definition of what his name means in the Hebrew and the Greek. Is both the same. In the Hebrew, is Shaitan, which means let's see, I can pull that up. I can put that on the screen for y'all. Shaitan, which means an adversary, one who withstands, adversary in general, personal or national, superhuman adversary, um, used for Satan. And then in the Greek, Satanis, right? Satanis is an adversary, the prince of evil spirits, the inveterate adversary of God and Christ. He entices apostasy from God and to sin, circumventing men by the wiles. The worshippers of idols are said to be under his control by his demons. He is able to take possession of men and inflict them with diseases. By God's assistance, he is overcome. Um, yeah. So those are the definitions of what Satan is, but it's not really telling me who Satan is, right? So the reason why I'm saying that is, okay, these are attributes, right? But is he, I mean, me asking this question is really going to be giving away the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Is he a physical 3-dimensional being, or is he a spirit?
So, like, if I may, he's a spirit.
He's a what?
A spirit.
He's a spirit. So everything that Satan pushes up on you is spiritual, right? So everything that he does, it takes place from the third dimension. From the fourth and fifth dimension. You understand? He's pushing things up on you that materialize in the third dimension, right? So the reason why I'm saying that is because of the next question that I'm going to ask. What is a devil? According to the Bible, what is a devil? Go ahead.
So like a devil is an attribute of a person that's a deceiver.
Give that brother a hand. Right. So I mean, and that's just one answer. If any of y'all got an answer right here, that's one answer. You know what I'm saying? That is a correct answer. But what else is a devil? What else can a devil be according to the Bible? Go ahead, Mike.
Another definition would be a liar, a murderer.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a liar because he's a deceiver. Right. What you got, Mahogany boy?
I was gonna say he a man.
Give that brother a hand. Right. So I'm gonna go to, let's see, that's one, two, that's the third definition. I'm gonna put that on the screen, right? So no, that's shit. Right here. All right. So the word devil, right? As you know, it comes from the Greek word diablos, right? The Greek word diablos means prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, a culminator, false accuser, slanderer. The second definition is a metaphor applied to a man who, being opposing to the cause of God, may be said to act the part of the devil or is to side with him, right? So the reason why I pulled that definition first is because you have to understand that anyone can be a devil, right? A devil is someone that is possessed by the spirit of Satan, right? So in order to be a devil, or a person to be a devil, right? A person has to first and foremost, well, let me ask you this. How from our previous lessons, how does one become possessed by a demon? Go ahead, Mahar.
I'll give it a shot, sir. Through affliction.
That's a test. So that is you being afflicted by a demon. But in order for you to be possessed by a demon, something has to happen with that test. Go ahead, Sapar.
Like if I may, it's opening yourself up to unclean spirits.
Get that brother a hand. Right? Okay. So so the unclean spirit is the demon, right? So how do you open yourself up to an unclean spirit?
So like by being in alignment with it, thinking that
It's
you
way
know.
simpler than that.
All right.
It's way simpler than that.
Well,
How do you open your Okay, let me ask you this. How do you open yourself up to the Holy Spirit? Maybe that'll help give you the answer. How do you open yourself up to receive the Holy Spirit? Go ahead.
You have to be willing to listen and accept it. Follow through with the instructions that it's giving you
Okay, what are the instructions?
to do wicked.
No.
Oh.
How do you receive the Holy Spirit?
You
It's real simple.
talk to God. I mean, and it's not Christian, but
What you got, Mahogany boy? Is
by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the
Give
Lord.
that brother a hand. Give that brother a hand. Right? So you receive the Holy Spirit by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, correct? So how do you open yourself up to an unclean spirit?
Through sin.
Through sin, which is what? No, what? According to the Bible, what is the definition of sin? Transgression of the what?
The transgressions of the law.
Transgression of the law. That is how you open yourself up to demonic possession, right? Like you come in encounter with a demonic attack, that's just a test. Demons gonna test you all day. You're gonna get demonic oppression daily. You know what I'm saying? From your job, from your rib, your kids, your family, you know what I'm saying? Sisters from your husband sometimes, you feel me? So that test is always about us, but as long as we remain perfect, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you don't have to worry about demonic possession, right? But in order to become a devil, which means you're an instrument used by Satan, you have to be demonically possessed. And the only way that happens is by breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why I pulled the even though it's the third definition I used it for the first definition, diablos, which is a metaphor for a man, right? Because remember, Christ called Peter, he said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." He called him a devil. You know what I'm saying? So white people aren't the only devils. Your brother can be a devil. You know what I'm saying? If he's opposed in opposition to the will of the Most High God. Because remember, if you really just listen to what Peter's saying, it sounds innocent. Peter was like, "No, ain't nobody gonna kill you, Lord. You know what I'm saying? You my dog. You know what I'm saying? You got me messed up. You think somebody gonna lay their hands on you? I'm gonna cut their ear off just like I did that centurion in the Garden of Gethsemane." You know what I'm saying? But he told him to get thee behind me because it was the Father's will that he offered up his life. And he's trying to stand in opposition to that because he was controlled by Satan. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So now that we know what a devil is, what is the depiction that the world gives you for what the devil is? What is the depiction that they give you? Anybody?
Like from a Hollywood standpoint, it's always
or any standpoint.
Okay. From any standpoint, they always give you an image of the devil being a being with animal attributes like horns, tails. You know, it come in many different variations, but the most common one you'll see on pretty much everything would be like the little imp looking thing with horns and a pitchfork and a tail, red all over and all of that those type of descriptions.
Now, the $1 million question that I have, which you are absolutely correct, is why? Why across the globe, it ain't just in America, but across the globe, why is the devil depicted as a being that's red with a tail that has horns? It's a reason why.
My first thought would be is because they so literal.
Mm-hmm.
They don't truly like understand what is a spirit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or anything like that. So they give you this carnal what do you call it? Description,
Mm-hmm.
picture of it. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't really understand anything spiritually, so the only thing that they can do is really give you. That's why I said, you know, like Hollywood, because we watch TV, we go to the movies. So anytime you watch a horror movie, anything that has to do with that, they always giving you some type of symbol of Satan being a monster or something, or a ghoul or a goblin or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say it's just because they just so damn literal. You know, they don't really understand. That would be my answer.
Okay,
So.
what you got, a one y'all?
Okay, because I know that Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, red is the color of sin.
Okay.
Right? Then I would go to Genesis 25 and 25.
Go ahead and read it if you want to.
Okay, fantastic. Oh yeah, you got Mike ready? Okay, because I'm already on it. I'll get it. This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 20, chapter 25, verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So red shows forth through his skin. That was one of the
and it's so crazy that you pulled that scripture, right? So right there, and going even further down in Genesis 27 and 11, where it describes Esau, his brother, as a hairy man, and that Jacob was a smooth man. Right. Okay. So the description that he uses there, right, is the Strong's Concordance, number H8163. Let me put that on the screen, make sure that's the right one. No, that's the tennis. There we go. H8163, right? Which is shot R, right? Which means hairy, a he goat, or a buck, as in a sacrificial animal, right? Okay. The next one that they would use, and also this is like when different times that it's used in the Bible that the word devil is shown, it uses that one, right? In the Old Testament, another one that it uses is shad, right? Which is meant for a demon, right? But what's interesting about that is let me make sure I pull that on. I did. H7700. Now, what's interesting about that is I'm gonna type this in. And I'm gonna give you a couple of scriptures that uses this, and it's gonna blow your mind. And you're gonna be like, wait. Let's see, H7700. Let's see. That's not the one I want. Let's do the first one. H8163. H8163. I want you to go to all right, so this is the same description. This word that I'm having, these different verses I'm have you pull. This is the word that's used for devil in the Hebrew, but I'm gonna have you pull these scriptures first to give you an understanding, right? I need somebody to pull Leviticus 4 and 24. I need someone to pull up Leviticus 10 and 16. And then someone give me what else I want. Leviticus 16 and 10. Whoever has the first one, go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 4, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, lay his hands upon the head of the goat.
Of the what?
Of the goat.
Of the what?
Of the goat.
Right? So that word goat there, right, is the same word that they use for devil. Okay, keep reading.
And kill it in the place where they killed the burnt offering before the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Keep going.
It is a sin offering.
It's a what offering?
A sin offering.
It's a what offering?
A sin offering.
Right? So in their mind, the only offerings that are made for sin offerings are what? goats, right? All right. And when you look at effigies of Satan, like the Baphomet is a what? It's a goat, right? Okay, who got the next one? Do 9 and 3 first, then do 10 and 16.
It's Leviticus chapter 9, verse 3. It
Mm-hmm.
reads, "And unto the children of Israel thou shalt speak, saying, Take ye a kid of the goats for a sin offering."
For what offering?
Sin offering.
For what offering?
Sin offering.
Mm-hmm.
And a calf and a lamb, both of the first year, without blemish, for a burnt offering.
All right, now give me 10 and 16, and then we're going to get into some history.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 10, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses diligently sought the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burnt. And he was angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, the sons of Aaron, which were left alive, saying, going into 17, sir.
I'm sorry, that ain't the one I want. I wanted to go to Leviticus 16 and 7, and then read the 9s. I apologize. 16 and 7, you're going to read the verse 9.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 16, verse 7. And he shall take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 8. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats, one lot for the Lord, and the other lot for the scapegoat.
For the what goat?
For the scapegoat.
Now, I'm going to give you another name for the devil, actual name that you all might have heard before, right? That name is Azazel, right? Azazel, right? In the Hebrew, I'm gonna put it up on the screen for everybody. Is that this one? No, it's the last one. There we go. In the Hebrew, let me scroll for you. The Strong's Concordance number for it is. Did I pass it up?
So, like, so while you looking that up, you know they got a movie called Azazel.
And they have a movie called The Fallen with Denzel that has Azazel in there, right? The Strong's Concordance number is H5799. Azazel, just regular spelling is Azazel. In the Hebrew is Izal. So that's Zahazal in the Hebrew. Go ahead.
And not only that, touching on about the movie thing, but they do depict him in Fallen with Denzel, but there's another one where I don't know the actor name or anything, but it takes place. It's called Azazel, and it takes place after the rapture. And people and in the movie they decided not to speak. So the whole movie is like with people not speaking, but a whole event is happening, and just skipping through the movie at the end of it, one of the ladies give birth to a goat.
Right.
I don't know.
That's
if
crazy. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Right. So the reason why I'm having you read these scriptures in reference to the devil is so that you can understand a couple of things, right? So in our culture, the number one sin offering dealing with sin were he goats and she goats, right? And the one of the most major sin offerings that we have is what was just read in Leviticus 16, talking about the scapegoat, right? Which is where in the Talmud and in the Kabbalah is one of the name for a demonic spirit, which is Azazel, all right, or Izal, right? Because the scapegoat is a sin offering. We would put we would basically the sin of the nation would go into this one goat, and they would release that goat into the wild to basically be devoured. And it would be like for the sin, for the nation, right? So it would be the most unclean animal at that point in time, because it represented all of the sin of the nation. Okay, so that's why they associated Azazel as an unclean spirit or a demon or a devil, right? So if someone said that you were dealing with the Azazel, right, or dealing with or you were possessed by Azazel, you're a scapegoat for sin, right? So these are the things. Right now, there's another caveat, right? Every nation that we either battled or fought with, their deity was either a goat or a bull, some type of effigy that had horns. You understand? And we're going to go through each and every nation. And this is the reason why the devil is known as a being with horns, because it doesn't matter what name you call him, it's the same spirit. It's Satan. You understand? And it is an effigy that is erected for him. And we're going to go through the Greco-Roman Empire. We're going to go through Egypt. We're going to go through Hinduism. We're going to go through Chinese culture. Let me see how many cultures I got. Let me see the list I got. Let's see. We're going to go through the Greco-Roman Empire. We're going to go through Sumerian and Babylon, and Assyrians, Egyptians, Hindu. I even got Norse gods, Wicca, which is modern paganism, and of course Christianity, the last one. And every single last one of them, their major deities, all of them have horns, like a satyr. You understand? Like a goat. And that's not by happenstance. Sapar, you wanted to say something?
Like it's so heavy that you say. Now I was just watching this documentary on Alexander the Great. It said once he conquered Egypt, this how he wanted to depict himself with a helmet with the horns like a goat.
Right.
So like
Right. And you're gonna understand why. So the first one, let's see, let me make sure I share my screen. On my screen.
So like real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
It just to say, and that's what's going on, not in just boxing, but all sports, basketball and everything. You know, who is the GOAT? I just want to say that. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Right. Because and they try and make it to where it's the greatest of all time, but it's an analogy because all of the deities that were like the gods that or the greatest god had horns. And majority of them, a couple of them are bulls, but majority of them are goats. And we're gonna go through all of them. Go ahead, Sapar.
so like if I may, like from their perspective, can horns also mean like a power or authority?
Yes, but matter of fact, we gonna get into all of that, brother. Let me make sure. All right, so the first one we gonna do, let's do let's go to Pan. I think Mahar, I think you got that one, huh?
It was quite a few articles on Pan, so I pulled two, and so one of them is like Farewell Pan, the rise of Satan in Christian imagery.
Come on, brother. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So this is an article called from Post Augustum Augustum, Salakia,
Mm-hmm.
called Farewell Pan, The Rise of Satan in Christian Imagery by Nicole Tubman, University of Southern California, Art and Art History.
All right, now before you do that, let me read this. All right, so Pan is a Greek god of shepherds, flocks, and rustic music. Pan is arguably the most famous goat-like deity. There you go, goat-like deity. He has the head and torso of a man and horns and legs and feet like a goat. So and the picture that I have on the screen, as Mahargabar goes into it, that is what Pan looks like. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go through all of the different cultures, and you're gonna understand why the devil is depicted the way he is. Go ahead, Mahargabar.
So the intro starts off and say, if someone were to describe to you a being, a man who is half man, half goat, with horns, hooves, and tail, and is bearded, probably the first thing you would think of is an image of the devil.
Right.
Or maybe if you know a bit about Greek mythology, you might immediately get a mental image of the nature god Pan.
Mm-hmm.
These two supernatural beings share all of these characteristics when it comes to their iconography.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
They share another aspect. They are both hated by Christians, but I guess hated by Christians saying they, the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sir. But how did one of them the most but how did one of the most beloved gods of the pagan times become the symbol of the greatest evil?
Mm-hmm.
And why? Is similar fashion to building over temples to great churches. Christian missionaries seeking to convert the Greeks took what was already established and fit it to their own narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
So this is what you have to understand, right? The reason why what you know as the devil, it's effigy. If you don't know what effigy is, that is an old word for a model or an idolization, right? Of a false deity, right? Is symbolized as a satyr or a goat, right? It's because all of the gods of every other culture that we came up against, the reason why we say that that's the devil is because all of their gods were goats. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy as a symbol for us to put so for you to know, okay, this is the devil. So if you go to, like, say for instance, our children, they go to multicultural schools, right? You go say for instance, they have I forgot I don't know what it's called now, but back when I was in high school, they would have cultural appreciation day, right? Where each person would bring a dish from their culture, and it's like a kid's potluck, right? And then they talking about, what this dish is and stuff like that or whatever. And say for instance, you got somebody from Greece or from Rome, you know what I'm saying, or somebody that's East Indian, you know what I'm saying. They start talking about their culture, and they start putting up these pictures. They have to deal with their culture. If you see something with the horn, instantly in your mind, devil, that's wrong, right? So that's why it's pushed and propagated in that way. And you're going to see it. Like I said, we're going to go through every single culture. Right now, we're dealing with Greco-Roman. Okay. All right. The next one that I want is the one. Let me see. What was the second one I asked for? Sataris, right? Let's see. Let me pull that up on the screen for the people. Dooby dooby doo. That's finest. Here we go. Sataris. Boom. All right. So I got a picture on let me boom. There we go. So while they're reading Sataris, I got the picture of them on the screen, right? So whoever got Sataris, go ahead and pull that. I'm gonna give a brief overview. Sataris or satyrs, right? These Greek male nature spirits were companions to Dionysus, and originally depicted with horse-like features. Over time, they became conflated with god-like pans. You know what I'm saying? As Mahar just went over, and began to be shown with goat legs and horns. Satyrs or satars represent unbridled lust, revelry, and primal instinct. So whoever is holding something, go ahead and read it.
All right, Sataris. The satyrs are mythological creatures from Greek and Rome folklore with a human upper body and the lower body of a goat or horse. They are known as wild, nature-loving spirits associated with revelry, music, wine, and pleasure, often depicted as companions of Dionysus, the god of wine. In ancient art, satyrs or satars are portrayed with the goat-like features, such as horns and hooves, while sometimes also showing horse-like tails. The term satyr can also be used metaphorically to describe a man with strong sexual desires.
Now, what's very interesting about this is one deity that is venerated today that is like this, right, is Bacchus, right? In Louisiana, right before Mardi Gras kicks off, they have something that's called Bacchanalia, right? Which is the beginning. Is Bacchanalia is it starts off Lent and Ash Wednesday, and all this takes place right before Mardi Gras, right? And Mardi Gras is a Bacchus or a Bacchanalia fest. And when you look up old statues or pictures of Bacchus, he's a fat satyr. You know what I'm saying? And he's tied 100% to lust. You understand? Debauchery. You understand? And drunkenness and lasciviousness. You got something you want to say, Margabar? I thought you had pulled something. So this is why we're going over this, right? So today we're gonna get into some scripture, but today's class is, matter of fact, dang, I wish I'd have put the whatchamacallit up there so y'all could see it. But you guys need to see the reason why the devil is depicted the way he is. You understand? It's because every single culture across the earth has a horned god. And anything that is not of the Most High in Christ to us, you understand, is a devil. Okay? All right. So who let's see, what was the next one I asked for? Yeah, fondness. Oh, and this is important because we about to be dealing with fondness here in a little bit. Let's see. Let me pull fondness up on the screen. Oh, I'm sorry. We yeah. At the beginning of next year, we're gonna be dealing with fondness, and you're gonna see what fondness has to deal with. Let me pull fondness up on the screen for y'all. Bam. All right, whoever got fondness, go ahead and read.
This is the pagan deity Faunus. Faunus is an ancient Roman rustic god of the forest, plains, and fields, as well as horned animals and fertility. He is widely associated with the Greek god Pan, and is often depicted as a creature that is half human and half goat.
Mm-hmm. Now, can anybody does anybody know when Faunus is venerated? It's a special holiday that they do every single year. It's outside of Christmas and New Year's. This is probably I'm sorry. They said they didn't see the picture. Hold on one second, y'all. I got y'all. Boom. There you go. That while I'm talking, so y'all can see the picture of Faunus. Get a description for him one more time, Mahogany Bar.
Kind sir.
So because I didn't have a picture up for him.
Kind sir. This is the Greek deity, pagan deity Faunus.
Mm-hmm.
Faunus is an ancient Roman rustic god of the forest, plains, and fields, as well as horned animals and fertility. He is widely associated with the Greek god Pan and is often depicted as a creature that is half human and half goat.
Right. Okay. So now, and I think let's see, Shapira says Lakia, sir, they even have a flow dedicated to him. I think she was talking about Bacchus. Yeah, New Orleans, Bacchanalia, Bacchus Fest. You know what I'm saying? It's huge because it kicks off the most important time of year in Louisiana. Mardi Gras is huge, lit, because all of Louisiana, majority of them are Catholics. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, okay. Now, outside of Christmas and New Year's, Faunus probably has one of the most celebrated unholy days across the world. Does anybody know what it is? Sapar should know. I know you know, Sapar.
Is it the winter solstice?
No, it ain't. It's in spring. It's in spring. Go ahead.
Valentine's Day?
Give that brother a hand. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's be opposite YAHANNA though.
Yeah. Right? So the whole the whole ideal of Valentine's Day comes from hold on. I don't want to missay it. Hold on. Make sure I say the different sets of it. Let's see, Valentine. Bam. All right. So Valentine's Day, also known as Lupercalia, was also called Dies Februaris, right, which is day of February, after the instrument of purification called February, which gave February Februaris. Okay, Lupercalia comes from the Latin word lupus, which means wolf, and related to the god Faunus and the Luperci, right? So, as a fertility rite, the festival is also associated with the god Faunus because the youth impersonated male goats or wolves, the embodiment of sexuality. The ceremony was believed to honor Faunus. The festival survived into Christian times and was not abolished until the 5th century, but now taken on by a holiday, right? Okay, so Faunus is just like Bacchus. You still have goat deities that people worship annually in America. So every time that you see someone celebrating Valentine's Day, they're celebrating Faunus, right? And basically, let me see, it was the Luperci, which were the followers of Faunus, and they were going after the worshipers of Vashti, right? So Vashti were the women. So let me tell you how it would go, right? You would find a woman because it's a sexual festival. It's a big orgy, right? You would find a woman that you wanted to lie with, and guess what you would give her? Some type of sweet or a treat. You understand? where the idea of giving sweets to my sweetheart came from, with the purpose to bang her like a wolf, right? Which is the mindset that every man has on Valentine's Day. I'm a wine and dine you. I'm gonna give you sweets so you can be my whore at the end of the night, right? And all this goes back to fondness. Every right now we just went through the major of the Greek deities, and fondness is also attributed to what the first one in Mahargabar read, Pan. All of these are Pan, and what's interesting is all of the gods in the Greco-Roman Empire, or in any culture, like the amalgamations of the gods. What is it called? Does anybody know? Okay, so the culmination of all the gods in any in any culture. Do you know what it's called? What you got, Sapar?
The Pantheon.
Get that brother a hand, my nigga, get that nigga a hand, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's called the Pantheon. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So the reason why it's called the Pantheon, because Pan is the chief god, and all of these well, I wouldn't call him a god, the chief demon, and all of the demons that are under Pan, right, are little demons. He's the chief devil, and all his minions are demons. Go ahead, Sapar. That's why you might see that. Look, that nigga name means scribe. You know, that's what Sapar mean. That's what Sapar name mean. It means scribe. God damn it. Go ahead, Sapar.
So like I'm just curious about that. If Pan is the chief.
If somebody look up the suffix theon. Look that up. Let's find out what that means. We know what Pan means. Somebody look up what theon means. Go ahead, Sapar.
So like if I made like if Pan is the chief demon, like what does that make, like Mars and Zeus, which they're
the same thing, right? Okay,
mm-hmm.
so the Greeks, right, which are predecessors to the Romans, they just venerated the deities with different names. They named them after celestial bodies, right? So Pan is Saturn, and Saturn is Zeus, right? So, right, you know what I'm saying? And you have no. Zeus is Saturn, right? And it's also Saturn, Satan. You know what I'm saying? Pan, Saturn, Satan. You know what I'm saying? Because Satan is the chief. In order for you to be a devil, you got to be possessed by who? Satan. Right? Okay. So Venus, Aphrodite. You know what I'm saying? So they just named them from planetary bodies, you know what I'm saying, to Greek names. Greek names to planetary bodies, because the Romans, they use the celestial bodies to name their gods. Right? Mars is Ares, the god of war, right? Okay, all right. Somebody had their hand up. They wanted to say something. Yeah. Oh, Theon. Yeah, Theon. Yeah. What does it say for Theon?
It's the Greek meaning of Theon is of God, divine, or godly, derived from the Greek word theos.
There we go. Right. So Pan, we know who Pan is, right? Okay, so they're adding deity to. Matter of fact, look up the word. Just look up the definition of the word Pan. Look up the definition. Just type in Pan prefix. Pan prefix. We're gonna break this all the way down, because this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You to where you have tú entiendos. You know what I'm saying? To make it to where you understand. Type in pan as a prefix. What you got? What you got?
The prefix pan means all, every, or entire.
Right.
Derived from the ancient Greek word pas. It is used in forms and forms the word like pan American.
Right.
Pan-African.
So you have pan, that is a god, pan being all, right? Then you have theos, which means godlike or deity. What you about to say, Mahar?
They had even more on the different terms like panorama, pandemic.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Pancakes.
Come on. Come
on.
on. Right. So this is why I love of all the classes to teach. This is the reason why I chose the history class, right? Because I chose the two classes that I teach are the history class and the Hebrew class, right? Once you understand linguistics, right, you also understand history, right? Because once you understand language, you see the world. Like majority of everything, if you really want to understand what's going on around you outside of learning Hebrew, you need to learn Latin. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these businesses, they put it all in your face. It's in Latin. You know what I'm saying? And it'll tell you who they associated with. When you go to these old buildings downtown, these government buildings, they have huge Latin sayings inscribed on the pediment of the building. You understand? You need to know what you're walking into. They literally telling you what you're walking into. Right? You need to understand, you need to have you a Black's Law Dictionary, preferably the 4th edition. Right? Because when you look up the word like hell is in the Black's Law Dictionary. Does anybody know what hell is in legalese? Anybody? What is hell? We know what it is. Okay, what is hell biblically? Let me ask that.
A condition.
It's a condition, right? Now, hell in the Black's Law Dictionary is a place that is under the judge's chamber. Now, anybody that's been to jail, right? You know, if you're in jail and you got to go to court, what do they march you under? The courthouse. They march you under the courthouse into a box to appear, right? Because for one, you're what they call a fictitious straw man, right? So you can't speak, but you can appear like a spirit because you're dead. In law, you're dead. You understand? That's why you know it's corpse, right? You got to understand these terms, right? So you are a dead soul being ushered through hell to being summoned. Your spirit is being summoned in court. Then you look up. You know what I'm saying? You got to look up to the judge. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say all rise, because they're summoning, they're raising spirits. You have to understand this, right? Yeah, because if you're summoned to court, and when they say all rise, that's why they call your name in court, because they're summoning the representation, the spirit of the person that is on paper. Go ahead, Sapar. Oh, it get deep.
So when you saying that, sir, so let's say when the state of Texas versus so and so is that in the same category?
Absolutely. Right? So this is why this is important. And it's also the reason why. Okay, let me ask you this. When you were taught to write your name in in grade school, like in elementary, in high school, how were you taught to write your name? Like describe, let's just say your first name, right? Are all the letters lowercase in your name?
We had to start with the capital and then the
So
lowercase.
what letter is capitalized in your name?
The first letter.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. Why on all of your documents, all like your bank card, your driver's license, your birth certificate, your passport, even your school transcript, why is your name in all caps?
It's like because it's a official state document.
No, it's not. It's what? It's fit. But okay, let's go give it away. Yeah, he's right. One y'all says because it's fictitious. It's because the best way you're a corporation. You're a corpse. You're a corpse. You're a corporation, right? You are a made up entity, right? Because I mean, your spirit, right? Which makes you, your soul has no name. Your soul is eternal, right? Okay, so it has no name, right? You are you. You know what I'm saying? Like the Most High told Moses, "I am." You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, right? You are, right? So they have to make up a name, just like when you want to start a business. I want to do a cleaning business. All right, we gonna call it Mahorga Bar Motion. You know what I'm saying? Mahorga Bar Motion is going to be all caps, right? Because it is a made up entity, right? Now, you as a flesh and blood man, you make your mark. Your mark is your first letter capitalized, everything lowercase, right? That is you in representation of you being a flesh and blood breathing human being. But the corpse is owned by the state. It's owned by the government. It doesn't matter what country you're in. If you look at all of their documentation, whatever their language is in, that name is in all caps because that person is dead. They own you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, and just to add to that, and that's the reason why for those that like have been in a system or whatever you have, they get your fingerprints because the fingerprints go along with the corporation. Your real prints are your feet prints that they get as a child.
As a child, right? That's your stamp, right? Every business, you have to have a stamp, which is a signet. Right? It's no different from the king when he had his signet ring to stamp official documents, right? That's why every document that has the corpse, the corporation name in all caps, that's why you got to sign. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but that goes into a whole other conversation. But I'm saying all that to say you have to know all of these things. Right? Because there's a biblical definition of hell, which is Mahar.
So like a certain condition.
A condition. And there's a legalese definition of hell, which is it is a condition, but it is a place that is under the judge's chamber, known as hell, which is the jail, prison. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Matter of fact, somebody on their phone, type in hell definition, Black's Law Dictionary. We're gonna do it right here in class. If you don't believe me, preferably type in 4th edition. Hell, Black Law Dictionary definition, preferably 4th edition. It should either give you a link or you can go to images and it'll probably have the image of the definition. Somebody look it up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Just real quick, just so you know. This is why everyone outside of having a Torah and Tanakh or 1611 King James Bible, right? It gives you the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. You need to know the laws of the land. You need to have a Black's Law Dictionary. Go ahead.
Black Law Dictionary. This is coming from the second. This is coming from the second edition. Defines hell as a name formerly given to a place under the exquisitor chamber,
which is the judge,
right? Where the king writs were kept.
So watch this. Watch this. This is even colder. Do you know what a writ is?
Right.
Hold on, do you know what a writ is? It's a bond. It's a bond. That's why every single violation that you have, it's attributed to a dollar amount. Right? Every violation that you do, I don't care if it's a moving violation, I don't give a damn if it's jaywalking. There is a dollar amount attributed to it. If you go to jail for jaywalking, there is a bond for it. You understand? So in order for you to get out of hell, there needs to be a bond, a oath, a covenant, right? The same thing that we did with the Lord summoned Abraham out of the hell of Mesopotamia, and he made a bond with him, a covenant, a contract, a oath that you will appear when summoned by the Lord. It's the same thing. Like they literally, that's why in the judicial system, that's why you're dealing with 12 jurors. It's to represent what? The 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah.
Salakia, sir, it literally says where the king's debtors were confined.
Right. So watch this. This even makes it more heavy, right? Because in scripture, what does the Lord's Prayer say? Forgive us our what? Hold on, give Kyle the mic. The Lord's Prayer says, forgive us our what?
Yeah.
As what?
We forget our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors, right? Because that is the only way that you can get out of hell is a forgiven debt. This is why Christ is so important. You understand? That's why in the matter of fact, let's go to it. Somebody give me I know it's in Matthew. Give me the parable of the wicked servant that was asking for forgiveness. Let's see. Yeah, Matthew 8, started verse 21. Started verse 21. Matthew 18. Let me go there with you. Go to Matthew 18. Let me go there with you. Started verse 21.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21. And then Peter came to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him?
This is so heavy. Go ahead.
Till 7 times.
No, you gotta say when you read that, you gotta read it like a question mark. It's right. Like, so you're saying, then Peter came to him and said, Lord, how oft shall I forgive my brother? Shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead. Verse 22.
Yahweh said unto him,
Mm-hmm.
I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
Keep reading.
Verse 23. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king,
Mm-hmm.
which would take account of his servants.
Mm-hmm.
24. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him which owed him 10,000 talents.
Okay, so this is court, right? This is court, all right? So remember, he read the definition of hell, right? So now he's summoning a servant that owes a debt. You understand? That's what court is, right? Court is running the registry and balancing the books, right? Who do I owe and who owes me? Because the king don't ever want to pay, so he gonna take a debt that he owed from somebody else to pay a person that he owed. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 25. But for as much as he had not to pay,
Mm-hmm.
his Lord commanded him to be sold,
Mm-hmm.
and his wife and children,
Mm-hmm.
and all that he had, and payment to be made.
All right. Now, keep in mind. All right. So for you to understand this, I'm gonna use a common infraction, right? Which is so you can understand a monetary value, right? So if you don't want to spend a day in jail and you get a DWI or a DUI, it's going to cost you $10,000, right? So if you got 10 bands on hand, right? You get pulled up for a DWI, DUI, you hit your lawyer, right? He gonna tell you it's gonna cost you about $9,800. You know what I'm saying? That's how much it costs, right? So that's so that you don't spend a day in jail. You pay the cost of the infraction. So if you don't pay it, right? How much do they make off of you per day in prison? $300. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. How much do they pay you? Like say for instance, like you got a job. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you get a job in prison, you get paid.
Like 25 cents or something.
It's like 25 cents, right? Okay, now let's watch this. Watch this. Well, we just gonna say on a major scale, we're gonna say 25 cents, right? Okay, so 10,000 multiplied by 0.25. That's 25. Hold on, I did that wrong. No, that's right. It's 2,500 divided by 12. No, that's not right. $10,000 divided by 0.25. No, I think I did it right the first time. Okay, so that's a minimum of, I think they get paid more than 25 cents. Okay, so we're gonna say you work, so let's say 40 hours. That's 40. So we're gonna say a 40-hour week, you getting paid $40 a week, right? Okay, so 40 hours a week. Let's see, 40 times. So that's $160 a month, right? Okay, so $10,000 divided by 160. That's a minimum of 62.5 months divided by 12. That's 5 years in prison. That's how long it'll take you to pay off your debt for $10,000. You understand? So in order to pay off a debt, you understand, if you got if you get a DWI or DUI, you can spend up to 5 years in prison. Or that's why they say you have to pay your debt to society. So in this case, dealing with Christ, you understand, when Christ, in this parable, right? In Matthew, he said in order for his debt to be paid, not only did he have to be sold, his wife had to be sold, his children had to be sold. Hey, Shalom, Lord in Christ, I'm teaching class. You need something out? All right, no sweat. Go on. Shalom Christ. All right. So not only did he have to be sold to pay the debt, so I mean he got to go to prison, his children got to go to prison, and his wife got to go to prison to pay this debt to society. That's why whenever you reach the prison, they always say he did what? He paid his debt to society. So a murder, you got to have a minimum of $1 million to fight the case. To stay outside, you got to have $1 million off the muscle. Keep reading.
It's like verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. Verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion and loosed him and forgave him the debt.
Right. So, you know what? You've made a very good case on your behalf, and I'm moved by the passion that you feel that you will be able to achieve and pay off this debt. So you know what? I'm not going to throw you off in prison. You understand? But I am going to give you a citation, and we're going to have a payment plan for your citation. This is how the court works, right? Because what's the word for it? It's like a surcharge, right? So since you can't pay the whole thing, right, we're gonna hit you with a surcharge, right? So every year you got to pay this surcharge amount for the next 5 years. If you miss a payment, a warrant is automatically gonna be issued for your arrest. You understand? We're gonna bring you back before the court, and then we're gonna throw you in jail for the rest of it. Right? What you got, Kyle?
I know in Texas, you EWI experience.
Mm-hmm.
I got probation, but even if I would have still did time, I would have had $1,000 surcharge for the next 3 years. Even with time,
and watch
but
this.
the probation, I ended up paying like $240 a month on probation for 3 years, plus $1,000 each year.
Now let me ask you a question: what happens if you miss a payment on your probation, or if you don't pay the surcharge? What happens?
The judge could give you anywhere from 2 to 10. They can revoke your probation and give you.
They're gonna violate you,
yeah.
And guess where you gonna go? Back to jail or back to prison, all over again. The cycle starts all the way back over again. When y'all trying to give you the mic, you understand? And a new charge, right? That's why once you get in the system, it's hard to get out of it because they want to keep you. They want to keep your corpse in hell. Go ahead.
Real quick, just to add to what you're saying. In some states, prisoners are not paid at all. Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Texas are among the states where most of all prisoners are not paid for their work.
Right. So this is what you got to understand, right? Whatever the monetary value, and they have a chart. Whatever the monetary value is for your violation, you understand? That's why they have minimums and mandatories. You know what I'm saying? They have maximums, mandatories, and minimums, right? Especially in the feds. The minimum in the feds is 15 years. It's minimum. It's minimum. Off the rip. If you get a 15-year charge in the feds, you won. And you day for day. Ain't no time served, no time off, no day, no 2 for 1, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, most people, if they get 15 years in the Fed, they think you snitch. Because they throwing football numbers at you. Right? But there is a monetary value You understand? Which is equivalent to months. You understand? So, hey, put her in the whatchamacallit. He got her. Support got her. So these are the things that you have to understand, right? I know we got off on channel. We're gonna get back to these different horned deities, so you know what the devil is. But the devil is in hell. That's you know. So that's that. So I'm just putting these things together for you, so we can remove the mysticism of the horned man that's red with a tail. But you know now reason why the effigy of the devil is pictured like this, because of the pantheon. Right? You know what I'm saying? All of these are different effigies of Pan, right? We looked at faunas. Who do they say? Pan. We looked up the satyrs or centaurs. Who do they say? Pan. Right? Okay. Now let's go to so we didn't just deal with the Greco-Roman Empire. All right. Let's see who we got next. Let's hold on. Let me scroll down. Let's see. So we did Pan, we did Fons, we decided. Okay, yeah. So let's go to Egypt, right? Jadet or Dijet, however the hell you say his name. You know what I'm saying? Okay, no sweat. Jadet. All right. So let me share the screen for them online so they can see. Boom, 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 boom. That's Pan. Yeah. What'd you say, Django, huh? Let's see. I could have sworn I pulled them up. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Make sure I got the right one. Nope, that's the East Indian. Oh, it's the Google search. Okay, cool. All right. Let me pull it up on the screen for them. Replace. There we go. Share. Boom. All right. Whoever got the jet, go ahead.
This is
Or jetted, Slakia. The D is silent,
Jetted.
like Django.
This is Jetted. Jetted was not a singular pagan god, but referred to the ancient Egyptian city of Medes. And
hold on. The Persian and the what?
Medes.
Let's go.
And by extension, the gods associated with it, most notably the ram god.
The what god?
The ram god.
The what god?
The ram god.
A ram is another word for what? A goat. It's another type of goat. Keep reading.
Most notably, the ram god Benib Jetted and the fish goddess Hanamhit. Benib Jetted, whose name means the Ba of the Lords of Jetted, was revered Salakia, as a god of fertility, creative power, and stability, with his cult-centered location in the city of Medes.
Now, I'm gonna add to this, right? So on one of the breakdowns that I have, in ancient Egypt, a god of fertility, just like he said, and virility, in the city of Medes, was depicted as a ram or a goat-headed man, like he said. Now watch this. It says his name was often associated with Pan by the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is why I be trying to tell y'all, when y'all be celebrating all of these different holidays, Satan don't care. You understand? He don't care how he gets you. You understand? All he cares about is that he gets you. That's it. That's all he care about. You understand? Keep going. Nah, you good. Keep going. If you can get back to it.
I'm back to it.
All right.
Salakia. So that was pretty much okay. It says the name Jedid itself relates to the Jed pillar, an Egyptian symbol of stability and strength. The deed, and then it goes down to with these key points. The deities of Jedid, Bendiv Jedid, the main god of Jedid, also known as the Ram of Medes.
There we go. All right, now let's go to the next one. Go to Kanoon. All right, let me pull him up on the screen. Go to share. All right, go ahead. It's KHNUM. KHNUM.
Khnum was an ancient Egyptian god or fertility, water, and creation, often depicted with the head of a ram.
Head of a what?
Head of a ram.
Head of a what?
Head of a ram.
Mm-hmm.
He was known as the potter of mankind, and as he was believed to have created humans and gods on a potter's wheel from clay, and controlled the annual flooding of the Nile. Khnum was also revered as a protector of the dead in the afterlife.
All right. Now let's go to Samaria. You know, these Anunnaki that everybody love to revere. You know, that's a new thing to everybody on. You know, the Anunnaki, right? The Book of Enoch, right? Yeah, let's go on here and look up what each of these Sumerian or Babylonian gods look like. So the first one we're gonna do Enki, right? Which is ENKIE. Look that up. Look up what he looked like. Yeah, Enki. Let me click on it. I'm a share. Let me share screen. Yeah. Hold on. Let me enlarge the picture. You'll let me enlarge it. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let me go here. Let me share my screen. Go to replace. Boom. All right, go ahead. Yeah, pull up him. I want you to I want you to read. Go ahead.
Enki was a Samaritan god of wisdom, magic, water, and creation, known for his intelligence and role in bringing civilization to humanity. He was the lord of the I.S.U.P.K, the subterranean freshwater ocean, and was often depicted with streams of waters flowing from his shoulders, carrying fish. As a benevolent and wise deity, he created humankind from clay and frequently intervened to save humanity from the wrath of other gods. So I'm just trying to find if they have like a.
No, I got it. I got it right here. All right. So this Sumerian god of water, creation, and wisdom was sometime depicted as a part goat. Right. You understand? All right. Now let's go to let's see. Let's go to Marduk. Marduk is in the Bible. You understand? Let's go to Marduk. All right, let me go. Since I got this screen up. It's spelled Marduk. All right. While you doing that, let me pull it up for them online. MARDUK.
Mar.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This is the pagan god Marduk. Marduk was a major deity in ancient Mesopotamia, primarily associated with the city of Babylon, who became the chief god of the Babylonians, Pantheon. He is celebrated in the Babylonian creation myth, the Numa, the Numa Elish,
Numa Elish.
for defeating the chaotic goddess Tiamat,
Mm-hmm.
whose body he used to create the heavens and the earth. Marduk was also a god of justice, healing, magic, and storm, and was linked to the planet Jupiter and represented by a snake dragon symbol.
Okay, now watch this. Since you just did that, I want you to I want you to look up what Greek god is associated with Jupiter. What did it say? What Greek god is associated with Jupiter?
The Greek god associated with the Roman god Jupiter is Zeus.
Is who?
Zeus.
Is who?
Zeus.
You understand? So Jupiter is Zeus. Zeus is Marduk. It's the same spirit known by many names. You understand? That's why I be trying to tell y'all when y'all be saying, you know, oh, I don't celebrate this deity. If you are venerating a certain day, like they don't care if you call it Valentine's Day, you're celebrating the Greek god Faunus. You understand? That's when he's venerated. You understand? Through Lupercalia, that is his feast. Nobody cares if you're going to Mardi Gras. You are venerating Bacchus. That is the time of his feast. That is Bacchanalia. You understand? So it don't matter if you saying you celebrating the birth of Christ during Christmas. No, Negro, you celebrating Horus. Because Christ wasn't even born in the winter. He was born around the time of Passover. That's why his parents was looking for lodging.
Right.
And that's why everything was sold out. It's just like when we go to whatever city we descend on for Passover. If you didn't book your hotel during the time when they said it's going to be hell for you trying to find a hotel during Passover. Am I lying? You understand? So Satan don't care if you call it Resurrection Sunday. No, you celebrating Ishtar. You got your kids out there doing Easter egg hunting like eggs come out the butt of a rabbit. No, you're celebrating Ishtar. They don't care if you call it something else. They don't care if you call it Halloween, All Saints Day, Dios dos Muertos. You know what I'm saying? You're still celebrating and venerating the same thing. And this is what you have to understand. Satan is called Beelzebub. He's called Baal. You understand? He's called Azazel. He has many names. He don't care which name. He's called Baal. Right. These are the old names. These ain't the new names. These are the old names. You understand? He don't care if you call him Osiris. He don't care if you call him Horus. He don't care if you call him Pan. You know what I'm saying? Optimus Prime. He don't care what you call him. You know, and what's so crazy is this is how diabolical, you know what I'm saying, the white man is. You feel me? You think you buying your kids toys to play with. You buying them effigies. If you really being honest, you buying them effigies. You're buying them idols. Go ahead.
I just want to finish what you had me pull up. So it said now the Greek god associated with the Roman god Jupiter is Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next sentence. Jupiter is the Roman equivalent of Zeus, sharing the same roles as the king of the gods, god of the sky, and god of thunder and lightning.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly
So
what you
watch this.
said.
It don't matter if you call them Zeus, Jupiter, Marduk, Oludumare, and Santaria. You know what I'm saying? It's the same person. It's the same spirit. You understand? It don't matter if you call them Hades, Anubis, what's your boy? No, Voodoo, Crossroads, oh my God. I used to, because when I used to know them off the back of my hand. I used to be able to call them out. You know what I'm saying? Papa Legba. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same spirit. Same thing. Anything that has to do with ferrying spirits to the other side, it's the same spirit. It don't matter what you call them. Go ahead.
Right, so and I just wanted to say that, and they all have something to do with fertility.
And what's even crazier is this is how you know you're dealing with the same spirit. Like when me and Sapar, like when we do the Christmas breakdown, it don't matter if you call them Crumpus, Saint Nicholas, what's the other names? Sapar, I be forgetting. It's like 5 different names we went over. Chris Kringle, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. They're all venerated on the same day and they have the same job because it's the same spirit. My people perish for lack of what? Knowledge. Right. But if you don't know the book, if you don't know the scriptures, you'll think Christ was born in the winter when he wasn't. You understand? You'll think that Easter is the same thing as Passover when it ain't. That's why during the Council of Nicaea, that's why Constantine joined a lot of the high holy days to pagan feast days to try and unite the kingdom. He's like, okay, well, Ishtar Day is around the same time as Passover. Okay, so we'll call it Easter. Right? Okay, well, right before Easter, they have Bacchanalia for Bacchus. We'll call that Lent. And then we'll have a party before it. We'll call it Mardi Gras. All of this leads into around the time of Passover. So they try to give it different names so you can get away doing the same thing. That's why in Voodoo and Santeria, they use the saints for either the Orisha or the Loa as representations because there are equivalents. That's how you know that Catholicism is evil. There's nothing righteous about Catholicism. It is wicked. Go ahead.
And so it's a question. So there's a huge difference in saying, okay, all these demons and and the names are the same, but it's not the same when it comes to God, because people say, well, I do Islam, I do this, it's all one God.
It's all the same thing.
Right, but it's not the God of Israel. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? And they try to
not.
associate it with it. That was my question. Like, why do they feel that it's the same way when it comes to that?
Listen, I'll break it down like this. I'll make it even simpler. In Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14 is the blessings, but 15 through 68 is the curses. It's many ways to die. It's not too many ways to live. So it's a short amount of blessings. They epic blessings. They epic. But the blessings is only 1 through 14. And it's really less than that. Verse 1 is the law, statutes, and commandments. It's saying that if you hearken diligently, observe and do all the commandments I command you this day, that you'll be blessed upon high upon all nations on the face of the earth. And then verse 2 through 14 is all of the blessings, right? 15 says the exact same thing. If you do not hearken diligently, observe and do all the commandments that I give you this day, that all these curses shall overtake you. And then 16 through 68 is all the curses, right? So it's way more ways to get caught up and overtaken and die versus being blessed and live. That's why scripture says, broad is the path to destruction, narrow is the way to life. You know what I'm saying? Like to walk this truth is like that them reveals on the floor with them tiles. It's a tightrope. It's a tightrope. You understand? Like it say in Second Esdras, you got fire on one side, water on the other side. You understand? You a ram caught in the thicket. You were between a rock and a hard place. You a camel trying to get through the eye of a needle. It's hard to walk righteously, especially the more wealth that you ascertain, disseminating through the pantheon. Because I'm gonna tell you this: the higher you get up, you're gonna have to come face to face with one of these pans. I don't care if it's with the boule. I don't care if it's with whatever fraternity and sorority that you associated with. I don't care if you going through the Scottish Rite, you understand, or you going through the pillars of masonry. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you going through the Kabbalah in Jewish in Jewish Amalek mysticism. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you going through Santeria or Ifa, Buddhism, Hinduism, all of them. To get to a certain level, you got to make certain pacts and oaths. And then what's crazy is you thinking you just doing a socially acceptable thing until you get to the top layers, and then they reveal to you what you're really doing. And you can't. I'll tell you, because in the world, you know what I'm saying, before I came into the truth, I was an alpha. You understand? And in order to be an alpha, guess what you got to go through? A what night? A hell night. You understand? And I'm exposing here, right? The reason why my brothers don't mess with it is because I expose that they worship Lucifer. Before you start your hell night, you have to say, "Greetings, most noble Lord Lucifer, guide us to the light." That's why they say it's the price you pay for pledging 858. Yeah, it's a price you got to pay. Go ahead, Sapar.
And it's like that's so heavy, sir, because I got a lot of people in my family that's pastors, that's Mason, and something.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something that is consistent across the board. It don't matter what Greek letter organization that you in. The higher you get up in the Greek letter organization, they all Masons. Right. Every single one of them. I don't care if you are iota. I don't care if you are alpha. I don't care if you are kappa. I don't care if you are omega. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you Phi Nu Pi. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And then all of your leaders, your black leaders in the Boule and in all black society, you understand? And in all white society, they're Masons. You got the Prince Hall, which is the niggas. You know what I'm saying? And then, you got your shrine. Don't let me get started on the Shriners. You know what I'm saying? All of this stuff is leading you to Pan. All of it. You about to say something? Go ahead.
I just want to stamp you on that, being a Mason. Well, I'm glad I came to the truth. being that I was a Mason 16 years, it is, first it starts off, you believe in deity, you believe in God, this, that, and other. But that's kind of why I didn't go up, because like you said, as you get up, everything after third degree of Masonry is allegory.
Right.
Meaning it's a story.
Right.
Everything. Like now, the first degree, second degree, third degree, you can reference certain things to King Solomon's temple, King of Tyre,
Right.
Harold, Boaz, Ruth,
Right.
Naomi, but anything after that is allegory. Once you go past to 32nd, that's consistory. That's when you get with the government, the conspiracy.
Right.
That's bonus goals. 33rd, once you go up to 33rd, that's when, yeah.
Right. And then once you get to 33rd, there are other organizations that are above that. You know what I'm saying? That's when you start going to Bohemian Grove and all of this foolishness. Right. You understand? And all of these go back to the pantheon. Yeah. What you say, Sapar?
Babylonian mystery school from Nimrod.
There you
All the
go.
way back.
There you go. All of this goes back to that. And the reason why I'm going through every single culture and showing you pictures of the effigies to show you it's all the same thing. That's why when you read all of these spiritual books, you understand, they all have pretty much the same principles. Go ahead, Kyle. One y'all or whoever got the mic.
It was strange when you were talking about the goat, because you shared something intimate when you have your hell night.
Right.
You baptized by fire.
Right.
Basically, if you was a black sheep like me, got into trouble and you were it was meant for them to try and break you, so you'll quit.
Right.
But you had to what they call ride the goat.
Yep.
So that's correct.
I'm
crazy
trying.
when
Listen,
you were talking about the goat in the round.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, it's symbolism for a reason, and in a lot of times in these organizations, and look, in every organization has a book that you have to memorize. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, it's fables and stories, history, all of that, and all of it somehow ties to the Bible in King Solomon's temple. In the fraternities and in the sororities, each fraternity is supposed to be a pillar. You know what I'm saying? In Solomon's temple. You feel because all of the people that started these organizations were Masons. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand this. That's why it is important for you to know history and to know linguistics. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you this right now. You learn Hebrew and Latin, you will see the world completely different around you. Yeah. You will see the veil lifted out from over your eyes. Because everything that they try and shroud in front of you is normally in Latin. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to the higher levels, it's in Hebrew. Like, bro, I'm gonna tell you, it was already one of my favorite movies as a child. It became even more my favorite movie when I was in the truth. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones. You understand? Because when he put that staff that had that jewel on it to show where the Ark of the Covenant was, written in Paleo Hebrew was what's the motto? Shema Yasha Allah Yahweh Allah God. It was written not in Assyrian, the Yiddish. It was written in Paleo, in ancient Hebrew, on it. And my mind was blown because I'm in Hebrew class with General Q when he was teaching it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching the movie and I was like, hold on, pause. And I started writing down what was around it. And I was like, man, hell no. Go ahead.
Was that Indiana Jones you was watching? That one when they found the covenant of the ark?
Yeah.
And it had that.
Yeah.
You can see, you can literally pause it and see.
Yeah,
that,
you can
sir.
literally pause it and see it. Like when you be watching these anime shows like Jujutsu Kaisen, when they be writing the sigils and stuff like that, some of them sigils be having Hebrew in it. You know what I'm saying? Especially Da Vinci Code. It ain't nothing but Latin and Hebrew in Da Vinci Code. 100%. And they be putting it in front of your face. But if you can't read it, you're not going to catch the gem of the jewels. You're going to miss it every time. It's some serious heat. And they have to put it in front of you. They have... Because they can't do what they're doing without letting you know. It's a rule. Like it's like prime example. I got you. Like prime example in law, you can't say they have a term in law. There is no exception for ignorance of law.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
There's no exception because you can go look it up. You understand? There is no exception for ignorance of the law. When you go to court and you tell the judge, I don't know, there's no excuse for ignorance of the law. The water. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you can go to any public library. They have a jurisprudence. They have a Black's Law Dictionary. You know what I'm saying? And then they have the state penal code. So there's no excuse for ignorance of the law. The same thing with the law, statutes, and commandments. So when Christ come back, what you gonna? Oh, my bad, God. I didn't know. You want to know what this is? So how diabolical the white man is. In every hotel, what's in that nightstand? A Gideon's Bible is in every hotel and motel you go to sin in. So you can't say that there's no excuse for the law. That's how diabolical they are. You can't ever say you don't know because this is the #1 sold book in the world. It has been a bestseller since BC. You understand? It is the most reprinted book in the world, all right? You understand? So there's no excuse for ignorance of the law. You understand? Like that's why Christ said when he come and you say, Father, I served you, you're gonna say, get away from me, you never knew me. When I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was homeless, did you give me shelter? When I was in prison, did you come visit me? There's no excuse for ignorance of the law. To be a priest, you have to be a scholar. You can't take any time off. You gotta be a master of government. You understand? You got to be a master counselor. You understand? You gotta be a lawyer because you gotta know the law. You can't be a priest and not be a lawyer. You can't. It's impossible. First, you got to understand God's law to understand man's law. And when you understand the law, statutes, and commandments, you understand why the law of the land is set up the way it is. I promise you. When I first started studying law, it blew my mind because it's all set up based off of God's law. That's why you have common law, you have maritime law. See, they control the seas. because everything on the sea is dead. That's why you are a corpse. So I keep telling y'all. That's why when you go before the jail, you understand, if you've been arrested because you owe a debt to society, they throw you in hell, which is jail. And the judge summons your spirit, like it's a seance in there. He summons you, and you what? Appear in court. Abracadabra, nigga. This is all magic. It is. That's what it is. Legalese is a spell book. It is a way to entrap you, to bind your spirit in hell. That's what y'all have to understand. The game has so many levels, and you so caught up on just trying to survive. That's where they want you, because you can't even see. You literally create the prison cell that you live in. Your debt, you created that. The slavery that you have, you chose that. You understand? The family that you're accountable for and the contract of marriage that you signed with that woman, you chose that. You literally create the 8x9 that you live in. When you were a child, you were free. That's why they were quick. Here, take this driver's license. Take it. That's a contract. Okay? Take the cell phone. That's a contract. Those are the first two contracts you ever got as a child. A driver's license and a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? Then you got a job. What you got? You got to sign for them what? Them terms and agreements. That's a what? A contract. Anything that you didn't put your social on, which is your corpse, that all caps name, you have entrapped yourself in a contract. Both of y'all had your hands up. Kyle, you had your hand up first, and then Mahogany Bar. Well, all three of y'all had your hand. Kyle, okay, Mahogany Bar, you go first.
So like I just wanted to touch on what you were saying about the whole like hidden in plain sight thing. Like it's almost like the white man taunts you with it.
Oh yeah,
it's like he knows we can put it dead in your face and they still won't get it. They won't even look for it.
If you want to hide something from where you got to put it
in the books.
In a book, because you ain't gonna look for it. Go ahead, Kyle. What you had to say?
It was just crazy when you were talking about the institution system and magic. Y.A.HANNA. Like when you go through the county, it's weird because you're in a whole different building and you go underground through a process.
He wasn't here for it, Mahogany. I'll pull the definition.
You go through underground. You literally lined up like you're in Nazi camps, and you served off into different rooms and different tunnels, and then you appear in different court rooms, like magic. Like it's a whole program.
Look, yeah. He like so before you got here, I was telling them what hell was, but we show and prove here. So I had them pull up the definition of hell in the Black's Law Dictionary. He found the second edition. I got the fourth edition at the house. The second edition that definition is even way more colder than the fourth edition. The fourth edition says a judge, but the second, brother, wait, he about to pull it for you right now. Go ahead, Mahogany Bar.
He said, it says, hell refers to a specific historical legal term for a place where the king's debtors were confined, specifically under the exchequer chamber,
which is the judge's chamber.
The judge's chamber.
Right. So hell is a place under the judge's chamber, which is the jail, where the tunnel that they bring you through to appear in court. You understand?
Even if it says king's chamber, the king was the judge at that time.
Exactly. Right. So I'm gonna take it even further. I'm gonna take it even further, right? In order to become a lawyer, right? What do you got to pass? The bar. What is the bar abbreviation for? Does anybody know? Look that up. What does look up what does the word bar abbreviation mean? It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind.
The legal term bar, it's like but not refers to collective body of lawyers.
But what it mean? It means something.
It also refers to bar examination, a test to become a licensed attorney, a bar association, or a professional organization of lawyers. I don't, hold on.
Hold on, I got you.
Bar.
Hold on. Hold on. It's I know it's supposed to be British associate. It's like British something of royalty, because like you have to pledge to the bar, and when you pledge to the bar, you're pledging loyalty to the crown. You know what I'm saying? Let me find it. Bar acronym. Pledge to the crown. Hold on, let me see if this is it. Hold on. When you pass the bar, you pledge to the British crown. Oh, there we go. BAR stands for the British Accredited Registry, right? So if you have to pass the bar and the bar is the British Accredited Registry, who is your loyalty to? The crown. That is what the Bar Association means. It is the British Accredited Registry. That's why it says in that definition that it would bring you under the king's chamber. That's what hell was, where his debtors were. And that's why I had you pull that scripture in matter of fact, go back to it. You stopped at Matthew 18. Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 26. The servant therefore fell down and worshiped him, saying, Lord, have Salaki, I think it's 27 I'm at.
Yeah.
Verse 27. Then Salaki, I'm at 28.
No, 27.
27?
Yeah, do 27 and go into 28.
Verse 27. Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion and loosed him and forgave him the debt. Verse 28. But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow lower servants, which owed him 100 penance, and he laid hands on him.
Now he owed the king 1,000 penance. The king forgave him. Now he got one of his fellow servants that owed him 100 penance. He put hands on him. Keep reading.
And took him by the throat, saying, Pay me that thou owest. Verse 29. and his fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, "Have patience with me, and I will pay thee all." Verse 30. And he would not, but went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. Verse 30. So when his fellow servant saw what was done, they were very sorry, and came and told unto the Lord all that was done. Verse 32. Then his Lord, after that he had called him and said unto him, "O thou wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt, because thou desirest me." Verse 33. Shouldest not thou also have had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on thee? Verse 34. And his Lord was wroth, and delivered him to the tormentors, till he should pay all that was due unto him. Verse 35. So likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if ye from your hearts forgive not every one of his brothers their trespasses.
So when you owe a debt, you go to prison. You know what I'm saying? I got one more scripture because I realize it's 9 o'clock, so we can get up out of here. Let's see. Hold on, that's not what I wanted. Jailer. Come on.
So like I said, what's the title of the class?
Oh, this is Satan, Devil, and Lucifer, part 8. Let's see. Hand you over. Hold on, I got you. Hand you over to the jailer. Bible verse. Okay, so it's in the Luke version of it. Hold on, let me go to Luke. What is it? Luke 12. That's probably the version I should have you read. Luke 12. It say 58. Let me go to it real quick.
Just real quick, I was going to say when you were saying about the contracts, that's why they have our children born in their hospitals.
Yeah.
Because that first contract is right there.
Oh yeah, that
you're not gonna get out of there until you give them that, or you're gonna get in trouble. Like they got to have that.
The only way that you can get around that is if you having like at-home births and stuff like that with a doula, and then now they even be pressing the doulas to do it. You understand? The only this is what's so heavy and it's so spiritual. The only way that you can circumvent this system is to have a trust. And when your child is born, you know what I'm saying, you bring that child in up under the trust. Because that's what you're born. That's why you have to sign a birth certificate. Because you are made like when you go to prison, they call you a what? Start with a T. No. Starts with a T. You're called a what? A trustee.
Oh, a trustee. Okay, yeah.
Right. Right. So the reason why you're called a trustee is because you're a ward of the state. The state owns you. You understand? That's why when, say for instance, like okay, I went to school in Louisiana. Like I'm born here in Houston, but I went to college at Southern, right? If I stayed there for a certain amount of time, I would have to switch over and get a Louisiana license. You understand? So I would have to remove myself from the trust of Texas to be under the trust of Louisiana. You understand? Right. So all of this stuff, bro, you have to be a master of the law. You can't take no days off spiritually. You understand? That's why I be telling people I don't understand how you can leave the truth. You understand? So what? You're gonna leave here and you're gonna go out there and do what? Smoke weed, smoke cigarettes. You understand? Be a whoremonger, be a whore. When you know the spiritual ramifications of the law, the curses that come with it. So you got the spiritual law, you got the laws of God, and then to reinforce the laws of God, they have man laws, racketeering, prostitution. You know what I'm saying? So they can throw you where? In hell. The whole purpose is to seize you, bind you, and to throw you away to destroy you. Why do you think when they convict people, they give them 7 life sentences? 7 life sentences? Maybe they know something you don't. That this ain't your first, nor will it be your last life. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir, and that's probably, and that makes so much sense, because when most people, I don't know the percentages on that, but when most people come out, whether it's a female jail or prison or a male jail or prison, none of them be really rehabilitated anyways.
No.
You don't never get rehabilitated, even though that's what you're supposed to be going in there to do, is serve out your sentence for your crime and come back out into society and be able to function and live. But that don't never happen. You either come out a better criminal than what you was when you went in, or you just come out mind already gone.
So I'm gonna say this last thing, we're gonna get up out of here. One of my favorite podcasts is the Matthew Cox podcast, right? Matthew Cox, he's a ex-con, right? What you would like to call a scammer, right? What he does is he interviews criminal masterminds, right? From, it don't matter if you was with the mob, cartel, you doing bank wire fraud, robbery, you was a drug lord, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He in the stores is just crazy, right? This last one that I just listened to, is this Russian German Jew. Crazy, right? And he talked about, before he came to America, he went to prison in Russia, right? But in Russia, you go to prison for 6 months, and then after you get out, they give you an apartment that's paid for, and then they put you in college so that you don't go back to prison, because they understand that crime is equivalent to economic impoverishment and opportunity, right? Every other country, they have a system that's similar to this for the most part. Every other country has, for the most part, free health care, right? America is #1 in prison industrial complex and incarcerating its citizens in the world. They have more prisons in the United States than in the entire world. Let that sink in. There are more prisons in the United States of America than the entire world. You don't believe me? Look it up. Right? So when we come back next week, we're gonna finish the other gods and deities from the other cultures that are attributed to goats, so you can understand why the devil is portrayed in the effigy that he's betrayed, because all of this is based off of this book, right? There's only one God in this world, right? In this universe. That is the Most High God. You understand? Any other God outside of this is demonic. It's a devil. The effigy is a devil. And you about to say something, Hargabar? Go ahead.
I just paraphrase. That's why Christ said, "Ye know not what you worship." Like, so basically, you worshiping these things and you don't even really know it. You don't know it.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying?
And you stupid. You stupid. You understand? Like,
and in the Christian church, they don't even like Christians. They don't even ask themselves if what I could be worshiping could possibly even be remotely wrong,
because of the hubris of their ignorance, the pride of their ignorance. You understand? That's why, as they say in Spanish, la familia siempre primero. Your family should be number one. And if you knew who your family is, you understand, you wouldn't be worried about all these other families. Let them worship whatever the hell they gonna worship. But like I said in the Bible, but me and my house, we gonna serve the Lord. You understand? All right. So with that, we're gonna say Amajim, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. We're gonna face the east. We're gonna do the Lord's Prayer. First in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemkah, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawah, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathanlanawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawak Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawak Yanawa, Wala'ah, Kabia Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha Allah, Wahata Parak, La Awalumium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, turn and face the front. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and to the sisters. Men of Israel, by the Shabbat, Majid, Rock, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Brakatah, Yadim Talk, Sar, turn and face the sisters. Men of Israel, by the Shabbat, Majid, Rock, Yahweh Shema, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Yadim Talk, dismiss.